Mike Jake here with another Big Power Electric Blaster review. This time we're taking a look at the model 503, and this one is eerily similar to the Double Trouble, which was sold under the Adventure Force line and built by Dart Zone. So it's going to be hard to avoid comparisons there, and I might even do a separate comparison video to it. But this one is, of course, Big Power Electric's own product, but it has definitely taken some design cues, as you can see there with the counter rotating to 10-round drums. So it does have a capacity of 20 rounds. This does not have any rails of any kind, does not come with any accessories of any kind, but it does include the same things that Big Power Electric has included with all their blasters. You get a whole bunch of their darts, you get 3 of the little battle targets, eye protection, includes the batteries, and you do have to do a minor assembly, as in the front section when you open the box comes actually detached. It has a little wire you clip together, and you insert one large Phillips head screw through the hinge point, and you're done. But once then, of course, you also have to insert your 6 AA's, as is their now trademark 6 AA setup. But this includes a compact stock that has a kind of nice design. I know I'm in black, and here's this thing. There we go. Look off to this way. But it does include a nice looking little stock, and the guard is also a pretty good spot for a sling. But again, good ergonomics, just in a very compact form factor, would suit a lot of different people. It's not alienating to a large hand, neither would it be too big for a smaller user. So very compact, nice little design, much like the Double Trouble was. And getting on into this, one thing that might surprise you is that this does not have a rev trigger. This is an always on once you turn the switch on. That is, some people actually like it. I know my wife, she actually prefers the always on because it's one less thing to think about. She can just flick it on, run around, leave it on the whole time, and then fire. It eats through your batteries a little bit, but it's simple to use. So there is some merit to it, and it is quite easy. Again, you just don't have to think about it. You turn it on and run around and use it. Much like the old Nerf Barricade, which was actually her first blaster. So maybe that similarity is why she likes that. But I'm sure other people out there too. So my personal favorite is the Busby dual stage trigger. I think that's the best of everything. Easy to use, no worries, and it allows you to rev up at your own will. So that's another topic for another day. I'll probably do a video on different kinds of revving. But the 503 here, what do we have? As you see, it is a flywheel powered drum fed blaster with an always on switch, and kind of outside of a neat look, it's kind of bare bones. But it comes in at a price of $49.99, which strikes me as very high. And much like my last review, if it's a high price, it needs a high standard. And this one is a little bit better off than my last review. If you didn't catch it, go back and watch that. I had some nitpicks galore almost on the last blaster. But with the 503 here, and yes, I do try to refrain from using all the numbers in the same video because I'm guaranteed to mix them up. And I dare you to say at least 5 different model numbers without mixing one up yourself. But the 503, we're going to stay with that. The performance was actually a little better. When I put it on my chronograph and fired off a number of rounds through, just like I did with everyone else, I actually got 74.5 feet per second for an average. So that is back to where we would normally expect these Big Power Electric blasters. They've all performed mostly above Nerf par. Now, that's not exceptional, but it's solid. And it worked flawlessly. Turn it on. And then turn it off. Simple. Very, very smooth. It sounds kind of, you hear a lot of mechanical noise, but it actually operates very smoothly. I was very impressed with the overall solid performance, and the actual functionality of it was very much reliable. I have had 0 issues with this, as I did with the last. The main thing is that this doesn't bring anything new to the table. But as a standalone, you look at it and you think, well, it's their most stripped down model outside of their pistol. So what do we have? It's, it has no attachments that you can put on anywhere. It has the simplest, operation. Just turn the switch on and pull the trigger. So, is it worth its selling price? And that's the easy answer to say no. This is not a $50 blaster. This is like a $25 blaster. If you count for inflation, maybe $30, because when the Double Trouble was out, it was retailing for $20. And it was a solid blaster with a simple operation. No frills, just basic. It was good to hang into somebody to run as a loner. And at $20, it was reasonable. So if you count for inflation, and this is on par overall, build quality, ergonomics, this is on par with the Double Trouble. So not a mark against it, except in price. It has solid performance. It was mechanically sound. It did everything I expected it to do and did it well enough. But at $50, it cannot be recommended. It's going to be a shorter review, for me especially. But I can't recommend this, even though it was a solid blaster. $50 is just too much, in my opinion. If this was a $30 blaster, oh, that'd be easy. This would be an option out there for you to take a look at. If you like the look, if you like the design, if you like the whole functionality of it. I hadn't even touched on the drums themselves. So far, I've had no feed issues, no rotation issues, and if you want to have an easier reload, just hit this little slide, pull back, and then opens the front where you can pop these out. That's pretty easy. Now, it's not as intuitive as, say, the last blaster, where you could just simply hit a button, slide your foregrip forward, but that's still easy enough. Makes it to where you could swap the drums if you had a couple spares. And when I do my comparison video, we're going to take a closer look at this versus the Double Trouble, and that'll be down the road a little bit. But the 503, it's a solid blaster at too high of a price. That's really all there is to it. I have no complaints of this other than its purchase price. So leave that as you will. As always, a link will be in the description of the video to where you can purchase this, and then stay tuned for the next one. We're going to take a look at the 527 next. This is my Jake saying thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.